Almost 6 months on carnivore, post-menopause, at 60, I lost 5 pounds off my waist. I dropped my body fat from 37.8 to 33%, preserved almost all my muscle but 1 pound, came off my blood pressure medication, and fit into jeans from 35 years ago. But here's the surprising part. None of this happened in the 6 years I was keto. Today, I'm going to show you exactly why carnivore worked and when keto stopped working for me. We're going to go over my numbers, my workouts, exactly what I eat, the science behind postmenopausal body recomposition, and the small changes that led to big results. I started this on May 18th, my 60th birthday. And that morning, I remember I woke up and thought, if not now, when? And I didn't want the next decade of my life to look like the last. I wanted to work with my postmenopausal physiology, not against it. And I want to make something very clear. This is not a beginner keto success story. Truth be told, though, keto did change my life. It reversed my insulin resistance, healed my fatty liver, lowered inflammation, and helped me lose significant weight. But after menopause, my body composition completely stalled. My waist wouldn't budge, my shape wouldn't change. My waist was actually going up a little bit. My sleep wasn't deep. No matter how hard I exercised, nothing was shifting anymore. So if you're doing everything right and your progress has completely stalled, it's not you. Your nutrition may simply not be optimized for the phase of life you're in now. Before I show you my results, I need to show you where I started. When I began, I didn't say, oh, I'm going to do a 30-day carnivore challenge. I told myself, let me just try this for 3 days. One of my viewers commented, and this still makes me laugh, isn't that cute? A whole 3 days. And honestly, they were right. And the reason why I was only committing to 3 days, because I was very happy on keto. I just kind of stalled, but I felt good on keto. I was satisfied on keto, but they were right. Let me show you the clip that I filmed back then. And again, a reminder, we're in the Primal Kitchen, and this is a combination grocery haul, just a few things that we need regularly. And for the first time in my 6 years of doing keto and ketovore, I'm going to try to do at least, I'm going to commit to 3 days of carnivore and then maybe more. I certainly am prepared for a week or longer. I had no idea those 3 days would now turn into 6 months and an entirely different metabolism after 60. Right before I started carnivore, my weight was 172.2 pounds. My body fat was 37.8% and my waist was 35 inches. Before my lap band and keto, it was 42.5. My muscle mass was 56 pounds. My BMI was 28.5. And I was exercising 5 days a week, mostly cardio, with very little change, and eating keto under 10 grams of carbs a day, total carbs. Once estrogen drops, everything changes. Insulin sensitivity, inflammation patterns, muscle retention, recovery, sleep architecture, and even heart rhythm stability. I didn't realize I was following a premenopausal strategy with a postmenopausal physiology. That's why my body was refusing to change. When I switched to carnivore, the changes were almost immediate. There was a quick 4 to 6 pound drop on the scale at first, but the dramatic change was in how I felt. My blood sugar steadied, my inflammation calmed, that was a really big one. My sleep deepened, My energy became very steady again. Carnivore worked fast because it removed every inflammatory trigger all at once. It wasn't magic, it was removing friction. So here are my numbers now. Almost 6 months later, my weight is 158, my body fat 33%, my waist 30 inches, my muscle mass 54.7 pounds, and my BMI now is 26.3. I went from a 35-inch waist to a 30-inch waist. 5 inches gone. And that fat came off right here off my midsection first, which dramatically lowers metabolic risk. And this is the part women relate to most. I went from a size 12 to a size 10, and they're getting baggy now. I'm wearing a small or medium top instead of a large. And yes, I fit into my Jordache jeans from 35 years ago. The scale tells you one story, but your clothes, they tell you the truth. And these changes weren't overnight. They were quiet, steady shifts that suddenly showed up all at once. I had loss in the beginning of my carnivore journey, month 1, month 2, and then I was in a holding pattern for another month, and then I lost, and I started weightlifting in the last 2 months, and now the scale is staying the same, but I'm losing inches and gaining muscle. I lost over 14 pounds and only 1 pound of muscle. That's huge. Women my age often lose 30 to 40% of their weight loss comes from muscle. I lost almost none because I wasn't starving my body, I was feeding it high quality protein and lifting to support it. And here's the twist. I exercise less now. I do 2 full body strength sessions a week. And on one of those days, I add in rowing sprints, 5 rounds, 20 seconds each, all out. That's all. And at 60, I'm not lifting to look a certain way. I'm lifting so I can live a certain way. I had atrial irritability, those tiny little flutters a lot of women get after menopause. And I never connected it to menopause, but I used to say I have a sensation in my chest. And then I had an episode of atrial fibrillation 5 years ago, which was very isolated. And this past December, I had to get an ablation done because it came back in full glory. And it takes 6 months for that to stabilize. But boy, I would have little episodes with change of position, like going from standing to sitting or sitting to laying down or during exercise. But since going carnivore and lowering that inflammation even further, and what I also did was add in those short sprints, my heart responds better under load. It's less reactive and far more stable. A major milestone for me is that I am completely off my blood pressure medication. Nutrition and muscle did what medication alone could not. Now let's talk loose skin because we need to normalize it. Yes, I have loose skin, but loose skin isn't fat. It's not failure and it's not something to hide. It's a sign of healing. Those areas used to be full of inflammation and visceral fat. Now they're empty. As I keep lifting, that skin will continue to tighten. Loose skin means you changed your life. People think metabolic change is impossible after menopause, but it absolutely is. Protein supports muscle, fat supports hormones, low carb stabilizes insulin resistance, strength builds metabolic tissue, my sprints rebuild mitochondrial efficiency, and if you're on HRT, this supports your hormones. It doesn't replace them, and I'm certainly not anti-HRT at all. I simply wanted to see how far nutrition and muscle could take me. And this is what happened. My meals are simple: beef, eggs, seafood, butter, salt, electrolytes, plenty of protein. Simplicity gave me the best body composition of my adult life. If you're in your 40s, 50s, and 60s, or older, please hear this. Your metabolism can change. Your body can respond. Your health can return. You don't need perfection to change your life. You just need to start, like I did, for 3 days. And here we are 6 months later. I'll link my Carnivore playlist and my menopause playlist on the screen. And my ebook, Keto Made Simple. It's available in Fourth Wall, and I'll put the link in the description below. Small tweaks, big results at any age. I'm Dr. Rose, the Primal Professor, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for sticking around.